Hey everybody, Phil here for AndroidCentral.com. This is the LG G2. This is the brand new LG G Pad 8.3. So let's go take a look. Alright, so here we are with the G Pad 8.3, and as you can see it kind of next to the G2 here, they're very, very similar in design and feel a little bit. So, I mean, obvious cousins, and even more so because they do pair together. We've talked about that previously in the announcement, and we've got to see it in action. It works pretty well. So here's the deal. You've got an 8.3-inch IPS display in 1900 by 1280. Really does look nice on here, and it's powered by a Snapdragon 600, so it's pretty beefy. Now, why 600 and not 800? Basically, they said for heat reasons. It's just, you only have so much room to dissipate all the heat in this thing. It does have a metal back. It's an aluminum back. It feels really nice. It's nicely done. But the 800 processor, the Snapdragon 800, which is getting a little too hot and was just a little too much processor for this thing. So they've been optimizing it for 600. So button-wise, we've got power here on the right, and your volume rocker as well. This is pre-production, by the way, so if something gets a little janky, that's why. On the back, you've got stereo speakers. That's excellent. You've got your camera, and what appears to be a micro SD card slot, I believe. You do have an IR port, because LG is all about that. Your headphone jack, and that's it for buttons. Micro USB on the bottom, along with a microphone. So UI-wise, very similar to what's going on in the G2. If I can get one of them to turn back on, there we go. See, very similar, very familiar. Same goes for the app drawer, of course. So nothing overly surprising there. Have the same kind of, you know, I'm not going to say weird settings, it's all just different because it's LG, but very consistent across the devices, so that's important. Same pull down for the notifications, and by the way, I know I've made fun of them a little bit. You actually do get some room for notifications here on the G Pad, whereas on the G2 you get like half the screen for notifications. It's pretty bad. So at least on the G Pad you get more room. It's still a little messy. Here's where you get to the settings. So let's see exactly what we're dealing with here. Again, pre-production, so this is subject to change, but right now Android 4.2.2, which is good to see, relatively recent. Storage-wise, this one's got, what is that, probably 16 total, with about 11 left over after the ROM. So that's not horrible. That's not horrendous. Some of the big features of this, probably the biggest one I think is Q-Pair. So we don't have this paired up with this phone right now. So this is our phone. But the way it works, and in fact, maybe we can do it right now. Let's see. You will set it up and it will pair with your phone. All right, so yeah, you've got to do it on both of them. And you'll have a bunch of options to accept phone calls on the G Pad and to accept text messages, and if it comes in on the phone, you'll get it on the tablet as well. So we'll have some demo videos with that. Yeah, it's not going to pair right now. What else? It's look and feel. It's definitely bigger than the Nexus 7, right? Obviously, in number, 7-inch tablet, 8.3. So you kind of personal preference, which you prefer as far as size, but it definitely looks and feels nice. Give you a sense of the thinness. They really did a good job with that, and in fact it does look a little reminiscent there on the buttons. Give you a shot of both backs. It's light. It's one of their big challenges here is to keep the weight down, and I think they did a good job with that, because like they'll tell you, you're going to hold this thing for a couple hours at a time watching a movie. Really nice look to it. Now, one thing we don't know, of course, is price, and that's a big factor when it comes, especially the Nexus tablets. You know, if this thing is more than, you know, $300, then probably kind of a non-starter. Will be coming to a whole bunch of countries later this year. Don't have any official U.S. announcements yet, so you're gonna have to hang out on that. There we go. So we do also have all the Q Memo and Q Slide features that we have in the Optimus, or I keep saying Optimus, don't I? That we have in the G2 and in previous iterations as well. So if you want to play with all those, you can. All very customizable as well. So they've borrowed heavily from the phone side of things, and rightfully so, and it works really well. Q-Pair is the big thing. What am I missing, Alex?
I think we've about covered it, Phil.
Awesome. All right, so that's it for the LG G Pad 8.3 from IFA in Berlin. See ya.